The air crackled with unspoken desire, a tension so palpable it seemed to have a life of its own. Evelyn, trapped in a loveless marriage, found solace in Edward's arms. Her heart ached for the warmth she had long been denied. Their affair, a dangerous dance hidden from judging eyes, was a forbidden waltz that defied societal norms. Each stolen glance, a spark in the growing darkness, ignited a passion that neither could resist. Edward, her husband's business partner, exuded charisma. His presence was magnetic, drawing her closer with each encounter. His touch, electric, ignited a fire in her soul. It was a fire that burned brighter with every secret meeting. Their secret rendezvous, a thrilling escape from the monotony of her life, became the highlight of her existence. But guilt gnawed at her conscience, a constant reminder of the vows she had broken. Evelyn found herself drawn deeper into the vortex of their affair, unable to resist the pull of forbidden love. The thrill of their secret, intoxicating, made her feel alive in a way she had never known. Yet a sense of unease lingered, a shadow that refused to be ignored, a shadow lurking at the edge of her euphoria, a constant reminder of the consequences that loomed. One foggy afternoon they met at their usual secluded spot, a place where the world seemed to disappear. A dilapidated cabin nestled deep within the woods, their sanctuary from prying eyes. The air, thick with the scent of pine and a creeping sense of foreboding, seemed to whisper secrets of its own. The cabin, their sanctuary, became a witness to their passionate encounters. Whispers of love echoed through the dusty rooms, their bodies intertwined, seeking solace in the darkness. Evelyn, lost in the intensity of their affair, ignored the nagging voice in her head, the voice that warned her of the danger she was in. Edward's touch, once her haven, now sent shivers down her spine. His eyes, usually sparkling with affection, seemed to hold a new intensity, a flicker of something dark and predatory. Evelyn pushed the thought away, clinging to the illusion of their love. But the fog of passion was slowly lifting, revealing the truth that lay beneath, a truth more terrifying than she could have ever imagined. A misplaced phone, a whispered name. Tiny cracks appeared in Edward's facade. Evelyn's suspicions grew, fueled by his increasingly erratic behavior. His once charming demeanor became possessive, almost menacing. He would appear unexpectedly, his eyes burning with an unsettling intensity. Evelyn felt a chill run down her spine. Late one night, she discovered a hidden box beneath the floorboards of the cabin. Inside, a collection of old photographs, pictures of women, their faces pale and lifeless. Their eyes, wide with a terror that transcended death, stared back at her. Evelyn's blood ran cold. A horrifying realization began to dawn. Panic surged through Evelyn. The photographs, a gruesome testament to a sinister secret. Edward no longer a lover, but a monster hiding in plain sight. She had to escape, to run far away from the nightmare she had stumbled upon. But her every move seemed to be anticipated, her every thought known. Edward was always one step ahead. The fog outside thickened, mirroring the fear that consumed her. The cabin, once a sanctuary, now felt like a prison, its walls closing in, suffocating her. Evelyn knew she was in grave danger, but from what she couldn't quite grasp. Something evil had taken root and she was trapped in its deadly embrace. Section 5. The fog rolls in. Nightfall had descended upon the forest, bringing with it an eerie silence. The fog outside the cabin grew thicker, seeping into the room like a living entity, curling and twisting as if it had a mind of its own. It swirled around Evelyn's feet, cold and damp, sending a chill through her bones. A palpable sense of dread filled the air, making it hard to breathe, as if the fog was suffocating her. Edward watched her, his eyes gleaming with an unholy light, a sinister smile playing on his lips. His voice, usually smooth and reassuring, now dripped with menace, each word a dagger to her heart. He spoke of their love, but his words rang hollow, echoing in the empty room like a cruel joke. "You're mine, Evelyn," he whispered, his breath hot on her skin, sending shivers down her spine. "You'll be with me forever," he declared, his eyes burning with a possessive intensity. His touch, once a source of comfort, now sent shivers of fear down her spine, making her skin crawl. Evelyn knew she had to escape, but her mind raced, desperate for a plan, her heart pounding in her chest. The fog outside seemed to mock her, a physical manifestation of her terror, closing in on her from all sides, trapping her in a nightmare. Section 6. Trapped. The cabin, shrouded in fog and darkness, became a prison. Every creak of the floorboards, every whisper of the wind sent chills down Evelyn's spine. Her heart pounded against her ribs. She tried to reason with Edward, to appeal to the man she thought she knew. But her words were met with a cold, calculating stare. The man she loved was gone, replaced by something sinister. Fear propelled her towards the door, but Edward was faster. He grabbed her arm, his grip like a vice. "You can't escape me, Evelyn," he hissed. "You're mine." His words, filled with a chilling possessiveness, extinguished the last flicker of hope in Evelyn's heart. She was trapped, caught in a web of her own making. Section 7. The Truth Revealed. Edward threw her onto the dusty floorboards with a force that knocked the wind out of her. His face, contorted in a grotesque mockery of a smile, sent shivers down her spine, making her heart race with fear. "It's time you knew the truth, my love," he snarled, his voice dripping with malice and dark intent. He confessed to the disappearances of the women in the photographs, each one a victim of his insidious plans. They were his victims, sacrifices to an ancient evil that he now served, a malevolent force that demanded blood. And Evelyn, the latest object of his twisted affection, was next in line for this horrifying fate. He spoke of a ritual, of an unholy union that would grant him eternal life, a life steeped in darkness and corruption. The fog outside seemed to pulsate with a malevolent energy, a reflection of the darkness within him, growing stronger with each passing moment. Evelyn, horrified, realized the depth of his madness, the true extent of the evil that had consumed him. The man she loved was a monster, and she was trapped in a nightmare from which there seemed no escape, her mind racing for a way out. Evelyn struggled against Edward's iron grip, her screams swallowed by the oppressive silence of the cabin. The fog outside pressed against the windows like 1,000 unseen eyes peering in. He dragged her towards a hidden chamber beneath the floorboards. The air grew thick with the stench of decay and the faint scent of blood. Terror threatened to consume her. She caught a glimpse of strange symbols etched into the walls, their shapes ancient and evil. The air crackled with an unseen energy, sending shivers down her spine. Edward's eyes glowed with a fanatical light. "Soon, my love," he whispered, his voice hoarse with anticipation. "We'll be together forever." The chamber was cold, damp, and reeked of death. Evelyn's heart hammered in her chest, each beat a drumbeat of terror. She was trapped at the mercy of a madman. Edward bound her wrists with rough rope, his touch cold and impersonal. He spoke of their love, but his words were hollow, devoid of any emotion but a chilling obsession. He moved with a practiced ease, preparing for his gruesome ritual. Candles flickered to life, casting grotesque shadows on the walls. The air hummed with a malevolent energy. Evelyn closed her eyes, tears streaming down her face. There was no escape, no hope of rescue. She was going to die in this cold, dark place. Evelyn, fueled by a surge of adrenaline, lunged at Edward, her bound wrists connecting with his jaw. He stumbled back, momentarily stunned by her unexpected attack. She scrambled to her feet, her mind racing. She had to escape, to survive this nightmare. The fog outside, once a symbol of her terror, now represented her only chance. Evelyn sprinted towards the chamber entrance, her bare feet slapping against the cold stone floor. She could hear Edward's enraged roar echoing behind her. He was faster, stronger, but Evelyn was fueled by a primal need to survive, a desperate hope to escape the clutches of madness. Evelyn burst from the cabin into the suffocating embrace of the fog. She didn't dare look back, her lungs burning, her legs screaming for respite. But she had to keep running. The fog, her enemy moments before, now shielded her from Edward's pursuing rage. She could hear him crashing through the undergrowth, his voice a guttural snarl. She stumbled, her ankle twisting beneath her. Pain shot up her leg, but she couldn't stop. Edward was getting closer, his presence looming large in the swirling mist. Then, silence. A silence so profound, so absolute, that it sent shivers down her spine. Evelyn never knew what became of Edward, but she never forgot the horror of that night.